He started with a kernel of an idea and popped his way to fame and fortune. This is the story of how one man revolutionized a humble snack and became a household name synonymous with deliciousness. In this episode of Celebrity Afterlife, we remember the life of popcorn king Orville Redenbacher and help to keep his memory alive. The future popcorn king was born in Brazil, Indiana, on July 16, 1907. Born to parents Julia Magdalena Deerdorf, 1874 to 1944, and farmer William Joseph Redenbacher, 1872 to 1939. Orville Clarence Redenbacher was an overachiever even during his formative years, going on to graduate high school in 1924, finishing in the top 5% of his class. Like his father and many others in the rural farming community, Orville held a very strong attachment to the land. Mix this with his love of a popular snack food, and the wheels were set in motion. His college years at Purdue University were spent at football events, where he played the tuba in the Purdue All-American Marching Band. Running as a member of the university track team, and working at the Purdue Exponent newspaper, Orville also found a like-minded community in the agriculture-oriented fraternity Alpha Gamma Rho, of which he was a member. Orville went on to graduate in 1928 with a degree in agronomy, serving as a starting point for his theories on developing the best seeds for popped corn. Orville's rise to the top didn't happen overnight. In a partnership with Charles F. Bowman, Orville opened a corn seed company to supply local farmers in Boone Grove, Indiana, near Valparaiso. Operating under the business name Chester Hybrids, Orville set out on his quest to produce the perfect popping corn. Over the next 20 years, Orville drew on his knowledge of plant genetics, physiology and soil science to create over 10,000 varieties of hybrid popcorn. After settling on what the two viewed as the perfect popcorn, they had to figure out a name for their product and decide on how they wanted to market it. At first, they wanted to use the name Redbo, but an extremely persuasive advertising agency suggested that Redenbacher himself would be the perfect face for their popcorn. 1970 saw the release of the Orville Redenbacher Gourmet Popping Corn Company, with Orville in charge of scientific research, and as the spokesman for the company, and Bowman as the company's president, in charge of day-to-day operations. The New York Times described Redenbacher, but for all his bumpkin appearance, the man with the signature white wavy hair and oversized bow tie was a shrewd agricultural scientist who experimented with hybrids. Redenbacher embraced his role as popcorn ambassador and appeared on numerous television commercials and shows during the 1970s and 80s. In 1973, he appeared on the game show To Tell the Truth, where he shared that he regularly receives letters from people asking if he's a real person or an actor. Orville professed that he is indeed a real person and can often be seen with his real grandson, Gary, in the company's commercials. By the mid-1970s, the company had captured more than a third of the popcorn market in the United States, becoming a movie night must-have for generations of snack lovers. There was just something about seeing the originator of our favorite popcorn on TV, wearing his trademark bow tie and horn-rimmed glasses that made us feel good about choosing his product. He felt like home and family, and one could almost smell the warm butter and salt permeating from our televisions during his commercials. There were two, actually. Orville met and married his first wife, the former Corinne Rosemond Strait, remaining together until her passing in 1971, at the age of 62. Orville would wed his second wife, Nina Redder, later that year. He had 2 daughters, through whom he had 12 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. The Redenbachers retired and moved to the picturesque city of Coronado, California, where Nin passed away at the age of 91 in May of 1991. Orville would spend the rest of his life there. In 1976, Redenbacher sold the company to Hunt Wesson Foods, a division of Norton Simon, Inc. In 1983, Esmark purchased Norton Simon, which in turn was acquired by Beatrice Foods in 1984. In 1985, Kohlberg Kravis Roberts acquired Beatrice with the goal of selling off businesses. In 1990, they sold the popcorn business and other old Hunt Wesson businesses to agribusiness giant Conagra. On September 19, 1995, Redenbacher suffered a fatal heart attack while in the hot tub at his condominium in Coronado, California. He was 88 years old. He was cremated, and his ashes were scattered at sea by his family. On the September 23, 1995 edition of Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert eulogized Redenbacher by calling him a man who took popcorn seriously as we take the movies. His co-host, Gene Siskel, added that he actually was more than just a cute, cuddly advertising figure. He actually was a scientist who came up with a new strain of popcorn that really kept that whole industry alive. That's a real contribution. Orville spent most of his life in the agriculture industry, serving as a Vigo County Farm Bureau extension agent in Terre Haute, Indiana, and at Princeton Farms in Princeton, Indiana. The city of Valparaiso began an annual popcorn festival tradition in 1979, with Orville serving as the first Grand Marshal for the parade that year. They also memorialized him by unveiling a statue of the Popcorn King, sitting on a park bench and flashing his well-known smile, on September 4, 2012. In 1988, his alma mater Purdue University awarded him an honorary doctorate. The company that produces Redenbacher's popcorn since 2006 has brought back clips of Orville from vintage commercials, gaining new fans since his passing. The advertising for 2008's natural popcorn snacks included a clip of him at the end. When asked in 2007 what his grandfather would think of the newly created digital recreation of him used in a television commercial, Gary Redenbacher replied,
"Grandpa would say, go for it. He was a cutting-edge guy. This was a way to honor his legacy."
Redenbacher's business partner Charles F. Bowman died in 2009. In Season 5 of Parks and Recreation in 2012, Andy Dwyer made reference to Redenbacher in popular culture, and also in 2022 by musical comedian Bo Burnham in his song, Microwave Popcorn. Thanks so much for tuning into today's video. I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to catch every episode where we dive into the Celebrity Afterlife.